Top 10 Netflix horror movies. The best Netflix horror movies are a great alternative to therapy. Just grab some popcorn, turn off the lights, and scream out all your frustrations while zombies go to town. Hey guys, welcome to your entertainment channel Netflix Tops, where we tell you all about the top-rated movies and series on Netflix. So grab your popcorn and stay with us until the end of the video, because in today's video, we are going to list down the top 10 Netflix horror movies. So let's get started. Number 10. Boasting a wonderful and intense lead performance from Sandra Escacina, Veronica is a 2017 Spanish supernatural horror film directed by Paco Plaza. It is loosely based on true events from the 1991 Velázquez case where Estefina Gutierrez Lazaro died mysteriously after she used a Ouija board. Veronica is a teenage girl surpassed by the circumstances after her father died recently, and her mother works in a bar all day and she takes care of her three siblings, twin girls Lucia and Irene, and the youngest Antonito. Still mourning the death of her father, Veronica decides to play Ouija with her best friends Rosa and Diana, taking advantage of a total solar eclipse where all classmates and teachers are on the school's rooftop watching it. Alone in the cellar, the girls try to contact their recent deceased family members, but the session goes wrong and something happens to Veronica. After that, she starts to feel strange presences inside the house and fears that these ghosts are a threat to her siblings. Advised by Sister Narcisa about the sinister spirit, which is close to her, Veronica looks for a way to break the contact with the ghost and save everyone suffering from hallucinations and horrible visions. Number 9. Written and directed by Anthony Scott Burns, Come True is a Canadian science fiction horror film. The film plot follows a teenage runaway who takes part in a sleep study that becomes a nightmarish descent into the depths of her mind and a frightening examination of the power of dreams. High school student Sarah is at her lowest point when she runs away from home and finds herself with no one to rely on and struggling with recurring nightmares. She chances upon a university sleep study that offers the promise of safety and money, and which also brings her an unexpected friend and confidant in the overseeing scientist, Jeremy. But there's something curious about proceedings, and being under observation seems to make Sarah's disturbing dreams even worse. As the darkness begins to close in, it's soon clear that Sarah has unknowingly become the conduit to a horrifying new discovery. Number 8. Starring Megan Fox, Callan Mulvey, Ewan Macon, Emel Amin, and Jack Roth, Till Death is a 2021 American action thriller film directed by S.K. Dale in his directorial debut, from a screenplay by Jason Carvey. With a rating of 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, this shrill thriller has the rare knack of being able to both unsettle and amuse at the same time. It tells the story of a woman named Emma who is stuck in a stale marriage to Mark and is surprised when he whisks her away to their secluded lake house for a romantic evening on their 11th anniversary. But everything changes the next morning when she finds herself handcuffed to Mark's dead body. Trapped and isolated in the dead of winter, for Emma to survive, she must fight the mysterious killers coming to finish her off. Number 7. Good at guessing twists? The perfection acknowledges your arrogance and ceremoniously barfs all over it. There's a reason everyone couldn't stop talking about this campy Netflix original at the time of release. It's a dizzying trip into the terrifying world of classical musicianship. In the movie, troubled musical prodigy Charlotte returns to the prestigious music school to find star pupil Lizzie has taken her place, and the pair embark down a sinister path. The great screenplay uses flashbacks and many plot points that make the story funny, romantic, full of thrills and horror. The conclusion is sinister and bizarre. Number 6. Revolving around the residents of a small town in rural Quebec as they deal with an outbreak leading to an attack by zombie-like persons. Ravenous is a 2017 French-language Canadian horror film directed by Robin Aubert and starring Marc-Andre Grodin. The story is of a small, remote village in northern Quebec where things have changed since locals are not the same anymore. Their bodies are breaking down and they have turned against their loved ones. A handful of survivors goes hiding in the woods, looking for others like them. The film has a 5.8 IMDb rating, while 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 5. Patrick Bryce and Mark Duplass's Creep blasted onto the horror scene, leading the Mumblegore pack with its quiet, simple aspirations that proved utterly terrifying. How do you follow up a trendsetter like that? Easy. Push the concept further. For the sequel, Duplass returns as the titular Creep, emboldened by his past murderous exploits to embrace his ego even more. Following Duplass into a facsimile spat of killings would have been the swiftest route to a second chapter in the Creep franchise. Yet Creep 2 steers deeper into the psychopath's neurosis to explore topics such as what happens when serial murderers feel disillusioned with their work. What's the cure for a melancholic killer? Found footage horror receives a genuine facelift with this thoroughly unnerving and jump-scare-ridden sequel. Number 4. The classic-style movie Poltergeist is a 1982 American supernatural horror film directed by Tobe Hooper. The film focuses on a suburban family whose home is invaded by malevolent ghosts that abduct their daughter. The movie tells the story of a young family who are visited by ghosts in their home. At first, the ghosts appear friendly, moving objects around the house to the amusement of everyone. Then, they turn nasty and start to terrorize the family before they kidnap the youngest daughter. And that roots the movie in the sense of reality that still reaches out and grabs you. Apart from that, you will find plenty of things to love about the movie, including the scares, skeletons in the muddy earth, and the creepy clown doll. The film is also packed with great acting, memorable characters, and snappy dialogue. Number 3. The mastery in which he muddles in the line between good and evil to rebrand both as something entirely essential to the human experience is outstanding. That's the core tenet of Before I Wake, which follows the story of a young orphan Cody, who secures a new adoptive home with grieving parents Jesse and Mark. Their situation is equally as complex as Cody's, and their tragic backstories become entwined. Scares abound as Cody's unique skills come to the fore with some genuinely unnerving Resolute visuals serving as nightmare fodder. Those familiar with Flanagan's work will recognize his trademark flourishes, but it's unlikely you'll guess the film's final sucker punch tearjerk that doesn't undermine the earliest scares, instead drilling that creepy sorrow deeper into your bones. Number 2. Based on an original screenplay by Ben Collins and Luke Petrosky, The Night House is a 2021 psychological horror film directed by David Bruckner. It stars Rebecca Hall as a widow who discovers a dark secret about the house her late architect husband built. It is a wholly terrifying movie which starts after Beth lost her husband and left behind a lakeside house which her husband built for her. She tries to keep her sanity, but her dreams keep bothering her with memories of his presence. When her friends advise her to move out, she begins to dig into her husband's belongings, looking for answers, and encounters a paranormal presence that she never thought her husband was involved in. Number 1. Directed by Brad Anderson, The Call is a 2013 American psychological crime thriller film. The film proved a commercial success, grossing over $68 million against a budget of $13 million. The story was originally envisioned as a television series, but Diavadio later rewrote it into a film. The film received mixed reviews from critics, but praised Berry and Burstyn's performances and the film's suspense. In the movie, Seo Yoon, 28, takes the train to the South Korean countryside to visit her hospitalized mom. Having lost her smartphone on the train, she finds a phone in her mom's house. She finds a hidden basement and Young Suk's 20-year-old November 1999 diary, when she too was 28. Her shaman stepmom believes her stepdaughter will become a serial killer if let out, and is very cruel to her. The 28-year-old women start talking to each other on the same phone in the same house, but separated by 20 years. And this brings us to the end of the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for amazing movie reviews coming your way. And thank you for watching.